All right, we are recording. My name is James Brownlow. I'm your instructor in Statistics, Math 115. What I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to go through a little bit about the first exercise, which is an introduction to using our Studio Cloud, and how to obtain an assignment, work the assignment, and then turn that assignment in Dashboard. So that's primarily what I'll be looking at today. Now you can see on the screen that what I've got there is I have my dashboard for Canvas up, and here this is our class. This is CRN 36799, and that of course is Tyrod Taylor, in my opinion one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. Also, in my opinion, a guy who got kind of a rough deal for a variety of reasons. I'll probably talk about that in class sometime. But in any case, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to open up our class. I'm going to go into Assignments. And in Assignments, there should be something in here which has to do with the very first application of using our Studio Cloud, and that thing is called firstKnit. So let me just click on this firstKnit, and this is the very first assignment which we'll be using our Studio Cloud. Our Studio is, as you probably have figured out by now, that's the main piece of software that we use to do the statistical analyses with. And I'm going to open up this and show you how to get it into your account, and then how to work it out. So what I'm going to do then is look briefly at the assignment. It's basically nothing more than creating and knitting an RStudio Cloud file, and then turning that in. And I'll show you how to do that. It's worth 50 points, and you submit a file upload. Now a little bit later on in class, what we'll be doing is we will be submitting file URLs from your GitHub account, which we may have established, or if you haven't, we will do that shortly. But here's how you're going to be graded. You have to do this write-up, and basically the whole purpose of this drill is nothing more than to figure out how to use and get around in our Studio Cloud. And so you'll be graded on how well you completed the assignment. Did you meet expectations? And expectations are not real high in this one. You have to write complete sentences. You have to answer everything. Your organization has to look good. That's the whole idea in this case. All right, so let's go get this assignment. So you have an RStudio Cloud account, and in your account you will have something called your workspace, and then you'll also have access to the shared space CRN 36799. Now if you go to CRN 36799, and this mine says assignment. Usually yours, when you bring it up, it should say start. But if you click on this assignment, then what that will do is it will create within my workspace a copy of that assignment, which you then move to your shared space to work this out. Well, come on now, let's bring it up. And let's see, so there it is. This is what it should look like. It's basically a template, an R Markdown template that we'll fill in, and then the R Markdown file that we'll use to complete the assignment. So if I go back into CRN 36799, if you have done this, you will find that you have an assignment that you can work on. And then you would what you would do, of course, is you would move this assignment into your shared space. You've made a shared space and you have access to my shared space. So you would move that to your shared space and work the assignment there. Now what I'm going to do is I've got this set up as an assignment, so I don't want to move it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to open this thing up in the video here. I'm going to work this out and then show you how to turn it in. So here's what it looks like once you get it into your RStudio account. And let's see if I can move this over just a touch. Yeah, that's probably good. All right, so here's how we're going to work this out. You have the title of this thing is the firstKnit, and the first thing you'll do is you'll put your name in it. So I'm going to put my name in, Dr. J, and then I'm going to go through how to work this. So this is a survey, basically a few questions so I can get to know you, and you can practice using RStudio Cloud. For each question, insert your answer underneath on the part where it says my answer, and make sure each answer is a complete sentence. And you know, it's got to be grammatically correct. Let's get the spelling right. Let's get the punctuation right. Oh well, let's see here. Let's get some punctuation spelled right. Oh, okay. All right. So the first question is, where are you now? What sort of computer are you using? Okay. So here's where you just type in the answer. Well, I'm at home completing this assignment. Okay. And assignment, MENT. And what kind of computer do you use? I have an HP desktop. And is there a model number on this thing? Oh, there probably is, but I've had it for so long. I don't know. HP desktop. DESKTOP. I've upgraded to solid state drives. I pulled out the old hard drives when they gave up, and yeah, it works pretty well now. So there it is. So there's I've got this answer. Now, after each answer, what I recommend that we do is there's a tab over here called Get. Click on that Get tab. But not yet. First, we're going to knit this. So you'll notice that the aboutyou.rmd, that's our markdown file, is in red and has an asterisk. That means it's been changed since you've saved it. Now if you knit this, what that does is creates an HTML of the output. So there's the first question, where are you now, what computer are you using, and there's my first answer. Well, I'm at home completing this assignment. Okay, well that looks all right, so I'm going to say that's okay. And now what's happened is about you HTML is the RMD is a file you're working on. HTML is a hypertext markup language file. I'm going to stage this guy, and then I'm going to commit it. I am going to do a commit. There, we'll do commit that. And the commit message, I'm going to say this is my first first commit. First commit, that's probably good. First commit for this. And I'm going to commit this. Now what happens is the to use GitHub, we have to have credentials. Namely, you've got to have your credentials, which we talked about the first night of class. And the way I'm going to get my credentials is I'm going to upload a credentials file from my computer. So I'm going to go down and take a look at the this PC, and I probably put that on my desktop. And let's see if I've got something here called credentials. And in class we'll talk about how to get that. Now what I have to have for the credentials at this point is I've got to have these guys right here. So I'm just going to copy this, and we'll fill those out in class, and you'll have the same thing available either on the computer you're using or on a USB stick that you can carry around. Then I'll go to the terminal, and I will paste that in there, and then that should have aligned me to the should have set in my global username and my email and that kind of stuff. So now if I go back and commit this and put the commit message in, firstKnit, commit it, and it has now been committed. Now later on, what we're going to do is when we work on a project that we coordinate and save in GitHub, we'll push this project up to our GitHub account. But I haven't set one up for this, so I'm not going to do this at this point. Now you can see kind of where we are. There's a clock here. If you click on this clock, it shows you this is the whole history of this our Markdown file. And it started out, Dr. K, of course, set this up. And he says he dropped some stuff, and there is our latest firstKnit. So now I know that's up there. We've got that one saved. And if we wanted to recover any previous version, we can do that through Git, because Git is also version control. All right, so now we go through, you complete all this stuff. Every time you put an answer in, you update, you knit it, you commit it, make sure that it looks looking pretty good. And then now we're going to turn this thing in. So here's how I turn this thing in. I'm going to download the About You RMD file, and then I'm going to submit that file into Canvas. So what I'm going to do is right here there is a tab called More, and under More there's Export. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to export, and select the file to export. Okay, well I'd like to export the About You RMD, since that's the one I'm going to turn in. So I go to More, I export, and we download it to your computer. And that's fine. About You RMD is fine. I'll download that. Now that comes onto my computer. You can see down here that it looks like it went in, and I can open the file location. You know where it should be. It should be in your Downloads folder, so I'll show it in Folder. And there it is, About You in the Downloads folder. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into firstKnit, right up firstKnit. Let's see if I can get the student view going here. And then, okay, there will be a Submit button up here that you can click on Submit, and then it will allow you to open up a file location where you can drag and drop the first RMD file. And that's how you will have turned this thing in. All right, and we'll do some of this stuff in class.